And that's really what makes your eyes look big too. If you use like a creamy one like this as opposed to a sharp eyeliner pencil, it can tend to look a little too harsh. If you have mature eyes, today's video is for you. I am going to share some tips with you along with an eyeshadow application. I'm going to show you how I apply my shadow. I'm going to give you some tips along while I'm sharing a tutorial for you guys. I know it can be really frustrating as we age. Our skin just starts to change and it can be kind of confusing how to apply makeup. There's a lot of younger influencers out there and the way they're doing it isn't necessarily the best way for us mature ladies. So I really hope this video is going to be helpful and informative. Let's get into the video. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I want to talk about eye contouring and how I create my eye look. And you can see the difference between both of my eyes. I'm not holding one eye up and not holding the other eye up or anything like that. Like you can see the difference between my eyes. This eye looks a lot more open and wide, and that one does not. And like I said, you can see I'm not doing anything. I'm not like, oh, like this, or, you know what I mean? Like, that's my eyes. I want to show you some tips, things that I think are important when you're applying your makeup, especially as we age because our eyes can change. I hope that this will be helpful and make sense to you when you're applying your makeup. I like to experiment too. Let me talk about eyeshadow colors. I like to experiment and I like to wear different shadows. Sometimes I wear gray. Sometimes I wear blue or pink, or I just wear whatever I want. Please don't feel limited because some people have ideas that if you're a certain age, you can't do it. Just if it makes you happy, please wear whatever you want to wear. I personally don't wear blues and greens and stuff all the time. I don't. Sometimes I get in the mood and I want to do that. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, this is like an eye look it's just for me most of the time because it's just a neutral color. It goes with everything that I wear. It's easy to do. And I feel like it's a classic look and I just really like it. It pulls me all together when I have all my makeup on and stuff and just looks really nice and fresh and just, that's what I like. But please don't feel limited because other people have beliefs that, you know, if you're a certain age, you can't just do what you want to do. So I just want to make that clear. Now, something that I feel like is really important, and I don't know if I brought my brush now. I can't find my brush. My table is I say this all the time in videos, and I can't find my brush that I use to put this on my eye, so I'm going to have to use my finger today. What I want to say is, you want to use an eyeshadow primer. I personally, from personal experience, find that using either an eyeshadow primer or something like this is actually a crease-proof cream shadow. That's what I'm going to use as my base. If you're not using this, you want to use a good eyeshadow primer. It's going to do a couple of things. One, do you see the little bit of redness and veining and stuff I have in there? We want to get rid of that because you're going to have a cleaner canvas. It's like this. If you didn't put a foundation on your face and you just put blush on, if you have a lot of redness and discoloration, it's not going to look pretty on your face. You're going to see all that and you're not going to see your makeup. So that's basically what one of the things that an eyeshadow primer is going to do. It's going to give you a nice clean base for your eyeshadow. So you're not going to have to use as much either because you're not going to be like trying to cover up redness or veins or anything. So I usually put this on with a brush, but I do not know where my brush is right now. So I'm just going to put it on with my finger. But you can, and it goes on so much better with a brush because it doesn't tug at my skin, but we're just doing it this way today. And if you don't want to use this one's from MAC, and this is the color Painterly. You can look for an eyeshadow primer. I just really like this a lot. I really like this. I did try the one from Rare Beauty, and I thought that was nice. You see the difference already? See how my eye looks nice and smooth, and it's like, you don't see that redness, you don't see the discoloration. It's just ready for my eyeshadow. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to use this palette. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. Use whatever you have. There's different ways that you can contour your eyes. You can go in with a bronzer. You can use a brown shadow. It doesn't have to be brown. If you're going to go in with a purple or blue or whatever you want to do, I would do like a medium tone. You can always go darker on the ends. And this look today, I just kept it all medium. Even though it's like the darkest color in here, it's not really that dark. So that's why I decided to do this. This is called Exaggereyes from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm going to use this brush today. This brush I think is great for blending, but I'm mostly going to use this to do pretty much all of my eye look. And this is from Rougher, and this is the number 14 brush. So I'm going to go in here, grab a good amount of color. Then I'm going to go ahead in here, and you want to look straight ahead in a mirror. I'm going to go right here. So I'm kind of going on the bone of my eye. Now, if you have really heavily hooded eyes, you still want to go in this area up here. If you go like this and put it on your bone there and you just apply it like this, when you put your eye down, you're going to be like, where's that color? You're not going to see the color. So we want to pull that eye up. And to do that, to contour our eye, we need to give that illusion that we have a shadow up here, that bone is there. So hold your brush back too, by the way. You don't want to hold it like this and apply it because it's going to be too heavy-handed. Back it up. And then we're going to just start to apply. And we're even going to get it on the outer corner. You don't want to go and drag it out here. But if you do, it's okay. You can always go back and fix it. You can go ahead and take like, if you have like a concealer brush, you can go and don't put any more concealer on. Whatever's left on there, you can just go and just kind of clean it up. So I'm going to get it on the outer corner here too. And I'm just going to do circular motions. We don't want to put a lot of pressure on a brush. And you can even go back and forth like that. And this is going to really open your eye. And we want to get it in there too. Just really want to blend that out. Wearing false lashes can open up your eyes too, but I just don't wear false lashes. I don't have time to do it. I used to wear them, but it's a little too high maintenance for me right now. If I was going out someplace fancy, I may do it, but in general, I don't. So we're going to just keep blending that until we feel like we've got it good. If you need to add a little bit more color, you can. But do you see already how that just lifted my eye? And I used one color on my eye so far. One color. Now, the next color I'm going to do is this one. It's kind of like a lighter color. And so what I like about this one is it's going to kind of soften that up a little bit more so it doesn't look so harsh. So I'm kind of going opposite of doing like a transition color and then doing a color. I'm doing this on top of it, just kind of soften that, that shadow a little bit. Now with this palette, I like to just use my finger. Now this one is a little bit sparkly. If it's too sparkly for you, then don't use it. Please don't be afraid of a little bit of sparkle on your eyes. Nobody is going to notice that it's sparkly unless they're in your face. Seriously, nobody. And because, by the way, and because I put that base color, if you will, on here, my primer, see how that pretty that looks? Like, that's all I need, and it looks like I did a couple colors. See how pretty that is? Now, just to kind of kick it up a notch, you can take a little bit of this light color here, just a little bit, and just go right where your pupil is. Just to give a little bit of extra light right there. Just a little bit. Boop. Done. Easy, right? Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to use this eyeliner. I use this 99.9% of the time. I just like it. It's the perfect brown for me. It's not too light. It's not too dark. I really like it. There's some eyeliners that when you put it in your waterline, I feel like they're almost translucent. You can't, like it's not enough. This one's a nice one. So I'm going to just take this and I'm going to go in my tight line. And you want to make sure you get it right here too. Then I'm going to take a very thin line. And I'm going to go right at my lash line. So what that's going to do is going to make my lashes look thicker. See how my lashes look thicker? And it's just from this. It's just an illusion. And I'm going to scrub that a little bit too because I want to make sure that I'm blending it with the tight line. Now I'm still going to do something else here. I am going to blend it and then I'm going to do something else. But I'm going to take a smudger brush. I don't want to like thicken that line. I just want to soften it a little bit. So I'm just going in there and just really lightly tapping that out. One thing that I think could be a little bit harsh under the eyes is using an eyeliner. Now you can use an eyeliner if you are going over it with a powder shadow. You can do that. Today I'm going to show you another way. Really, it's the way that I usually do it. I'm going to show you two different things. So I'm going to take this same shadow that I used to begin with on a smudger brush, and I'm going to put that right under my eye. So I think that using a powder shadow is a better option because it's just a softer look. So you can use the same color that you used for your eye. If you feel like it's not enough, you can go and use a cream eyeshadow, and you can do it right over it. I like this one. This one's from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is in the golden quartz, and I have to sharpen it, but I'm going to use it. And I'm going to go right on top of that. Now, you don't have to do this together. I'm just showing, like, you could just do this, or you can just do that. You don't have to do both. But it's easier for me to do it this way and then, show you the lighter version versus this. And it doesn't have to be lighter. Like, your color might be more of a brown, a little bit more of a brown, then you could do that. Hope I'm making sense. And usually it goes on smoother, but I need to sharpen it. And I have to find my sharpener. So now I'm going to take that brush now, smudger brush. I'm going to do a little bit more. And don't worry if you get a little bit too much, because you can blend it out. I'll show you. So just kind of soften it. And that's really what makes your eyes look big too. And then I will take a brush like this and just kind of soften that up a little bit. But it looks a lot less harsh if you use like a creamy one like this as opposed to a sharp eyeliner pencil. Now, if you want to be extra, you can add a little bit of a flick. So I'm going to take my same pencil, Barbara Brown, and I'm just going to look straight ahead. And I'm just going to do a little flick. Yeah, just like that. Like a baby little flick. You can barely even see it. It's enough for me. Take my nail, and I'm just going to go like that a little bit. Flick it up. There's one more thing. Taking that same smudger brush, and I just want to brighten my eye. Do you see how nice and bright that looks? And it kind of opens up my eye too. I'm going to take this little highlighter color here, and I'm going to go, which eye did I do? This eye. I'm the opposite of my monitor, so please excuse me. So I'm just going to put it right here. See how that just brightens it up a little bit? I'm going to put a tad bit more. See how that just brightens up? That's that little bit just brightens up my eye. There's some important points that I just want to make very clear to you. Number one, always make sure, again, that you are using an eyeshadow primer. Number two, wear any eyeshadow you want. Really, just wear what makes you happy. If it makes you happy, please wear it. These are colors I tend to wear. But when you're applying your shadow, make sure that you start up there and kind of build that little shadow area. Now, if you have a really, really deep color, you're going to want to keep that for the side. The particular palette that I used doesn't have a really, really deep color in it, so that's why I use it all over, and it works. But my key that I like to, this is my rule of thumb for me when I'm doing an eyeshadow look normally, is I will do a medium color here, a dark color here, and a light color there. So if you can remember that, it's going to be very, very helpful. Also, I feel like it looks better to do something a little bit softer under the eye so it doesn't look so harsh. I really hope that this was helpful and informative. If you are new here, I would love to have you join. I share new videos every single week. Please consider smashing that subscribe button below. It is free. And before you leave, I would greatly appreciate it if you would make sure to like, share, and comment on my videos because it helps to push them out to algorithm, and I would greatly appreciate it. And again, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.